This episode of the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast is brought to you by Bodyboarding Victoria and Attica Wetsuits. The new Attica Winter range is now available in your favourite bodyboard and surf hardware stores. To stay warm this winter, check out the new Alpha series featuring liquid seams, gridlock firewall lining and 100% Neospan Super Stretch for ultimate flex. Or if you're lucky enough to be in a warmer climate, the Omega series has you covered with GBS construction, seamless stomach design and taped criticals. Check out the entire range at atticawetsuits.com. Welcome back to the Closeout Bodyboarding podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Benny Oborne. First and foremost, a big season's greeting to everyone out there in our listening world. Joining me finally in the same space for the first time in a long time, both of my brothers, Shane Britton, Chris Watson. Merry Christmas, boys.
Thanks for having us, Benny. Why am I saying that? Because we're in my house. We're in my fucking house.
Thanks for having us, but we sit in your lounge room.
Watto's just turned up in his Christmas bin chicken shirt.
Yeah, it's mint, isn't it? I told you guys to wear one, but no.
You did.
I don't have anything in bad taste, unfortunately.
It's time for a new limited edition range of clothing.
The bin chicken.
Party shirts.
Yeah.
Party shirts. But no, guys, both, good to see you again. Watto, you've basically just been MIA for the last 6 months. Well, apart from Robe.
We went to Robe. We recorded...
Oh, see that? He goes on one trip, Shane. He's I was there.
Yeah. One take Watto.
How are your shoulders, by the way, Shane?
I've been carrying everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Look, mate, that look on your face says it all. Well, before
I just come up the rear from you.
There's only one thing to say to Watto.
Do better.
I tell you what, someone has poached that phrase. I was driving down to Lakes Entrance for a family thing, and there was this massive billboard, and it just said "do better" across it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No, we're hashtagging it.
Yeah,
I'm trademarking it.
Yeah.
The amount of people that have said it to me since we did that body.
Yeah, they genuinely say.
I think we're going to do closeout t-shirts. We're doing closeout t-shirts. Closeout on the front, do better.
Yeah.
Hashtag do better on the back.
All right, guys. Well, before we get stuck into basically a 2024 wrap-up, 2025 preview, let's just kind of have a bit of a catch-up. What's been happening, lads? I mean, Shano, you're smack bang into the bulk of Christmas trading down there at the Sweat Factory.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Mate, I mean, every time you open those container doors and like 27... underage immigrants crawl out. Mate, how's things going, mate?
You've left me with nowhere to go. I can't. What do I say to that?
It's been
very well.
Yeah, good year so far.
Very good. We're waiting on some stock. It's going to turn up the 23rd of December, which
Beautiful.
is, standard Christmas, fare. So, but no, it's having a great season and. Everything's going well. Bodyboarding is alive and kicking out there.
Yeah. But, I mean, obviously, at your factory, mate, you've obviously also got a surf shop at the front.
Yep.
What's your trading period like that for anyone who may or may not want to be getting down to get some stuff before Christmas?
We're just open weekdays. We don't open weekends. We just keep it really tight, and anyone that's coming out to see us kind of know what they're looking for. So, but we kind of try and direct everyone to our retail stores anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And
let's be honest, Shano's going to be parked up from about Wednesday onwards this week.
Lunchtime Friday, I'm out.
Yeah, and
same as every other Friday.
What's the official date though for the factory shutting the doors over the Chrissy period?
We're closing the 20th.
20th, gotcha. Yep. And reopening
the 2nd.
Beautiful, gotcha.
Good times.
And spending a lot of time down here in the newly renovated beach house on the peninsula, mate. It looks spectacular.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Always nice to have you and your family over.
Yeah, I can't wait to jump in that new freestanding bath. There's plenty of room for both of us.
Can't wait to see the footage and the photos.
I'm just looking forward to the tour. I'll get a little bit later and I'll see if it's the same sort of bathroom as what we had in Robe, the blow mould.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
We would have had to airlift that out of the hotel, that plastic cube.
Oh, wow.
That was disgraceful.
What about you, Watto, mate? Once again, you still couldn't manage to, cut back on your busy work schedule this year.
No, you're right. You're pretty much spot on.
This is a time for reflection.
Yeah, no, you're right. I've done a lot of travel this year, actually.
Yep. Bit of recent, you another little work trip to Tassie.
Yeah, I went to Tassie last week. 2 weeks ago, I was in Newcastle and Sydney. Got to surf the new pool.
Oh, here we go. We're going to talk about that today.
Tassie, such a beautiful place, wild waves, and I've spent a lot of time on the West Coast, and I was down the West Coast again. Mate, it's like middle of December. It's 8 degrees. The fog's rolling in and there's sleet. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Like, that West Coast is just something else. It's I really like it, though, for some reason. But, yeah, work's been pretty busy. A lot of trips. And then, trying to wind down for the rest of the year and have some time off with the kids and the family. And
You missed out on our recent team trip to Byron.
yeah, I saw some photos. I don't know if I should have or not.
Have you been attending your therapy session since you got back?
And in 2025, Shane needs a liver transplant.
We had a good time. We've recorded some future potties, which we won't say who they're with or anything like that. But
Got some great stuff in store.
Your parole officer.
can't wait till New Year's when I can take this band around my ankle off. It's going to be great.
Mate, I'm still paying off my Uber debts.
Wow.
It's a long walk back from the Gold Coast back to Byron, isn't it, Benny?
It is. It's a long walk. But you just said before, like, what a year it's been, Watto. A lot's happened. Lots happened.
I'll tell you what has happened. We hit 15,000 downloads.
Woohoo!
Bang.
Yeah.
Top episode. What do you reckon it was?
I know what it is. Do you want to tell us?
What is it then?
The Mick Parkhill.
No.
Am I wrong?
No, the top for this year.
Oh, nah.
Heavy side.
Yeah, boy.
And of course, second to that is Matthew Lackey.
So it's all that cricket talk that Jeno told me he wasn't a fan of. That's what got us over the line, boys.
Yeah, we could
Sir
have,
Michael Jennings.
we could have talked for another hour with Heavy about other stuff, but, an hour of cricket.
Yep, our cricket.
Right.
But pretty interesting year from a bodyboarding perspective. Lots of great things happened. Lots of bad things happened.
What's your highlights?
Highlights for me, probably one of the most recent one that comes to mind for me personally was the State of Origin event that we had at the pool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Watto, Adam, Big Willie, you guys did an absolute sensational job of putting that thing together. And just to bring, I guess, our extended family from South Oz over here was really cool. And I think it just kind of strengthened that bond that we have with those guys. And it, to me, it just has so much more future potential to do great things over here and then back over there as well. So for me, I think that's my number one.
Low light?
Low light? Fuck it, I'm going to say it. Walid.
You were the one that brought it to our attention.
You pumped his tracks up, and now you're pissed with him.
Mate,
You were telling us how much you loved him. I'm like, this guy's doing things and moving, going places.
never said that. Walid, if you're listening, if you've got a translator, mate, we've handed you an opportunity on a golden fucking plate. Start eating, boy. Start eating.
Has anyone found the link yet?
Yeah. Where's the link, Walid? Put it up. Silence the critics. Silence the critics.
Wow.
Stop wasting our time.
You've changed. You've turned.
Yeah, I have, haven't I? I immediately feel better for getting it off my chest. There you go.
I didn't know you were feeling this way.
Yeah. Chris, on to you.
I'm still impressed with the fact that you were the person that brought it to our attention. It's now, if you search Walid's in Google, I think our episode's like search result number 3 or 4.
We're enabling this guy.
Yeah,
We're enabling this
No,
guy.
you're enabling him.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your highlight, Watto?
Yeah, I'd have to say the event, probably the two events for me always is I really enjoyed Robe. Robe is always such a great weekend away with a good bunch of blokes and
Especially when the ski works.
yeah. And some sparkling Merlots down at the at the Cali.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was pretty.
And you thought Shane was going to have liver problems in 2025.
I'm still impressed at the fact that they ran out of sparkling Merlot, to be fair. But then again, we're the only people that...
How long do you reckon that sparkling Merlot's been sitting on the back shelf? Yeah.
I said that at the time.
Yeah, so...
I said, I bet that's been collecting dust
You
for
blow
3
the
years.
dust off. Oh, it's aged well. It's aged well.
Yeah, no, that was a sick weekend as always. And of course, yeah, State of Origin and... Look, as we've said before, I was crook as, but I was so stoked how that came out. The format worked really well. Just the feedback we've had from it's been epic.
Yeah.
And also DKS on the other side and having all that going on at the same time was really cool.
What's your low light?
Probably one of my lowlights was that event didn't get as much probably acknowledgement or press that it should have.
Yeah.
For something that was, I guess, unique and displaying some really good riding. And then probably another lowlight's a lot of the negativity in bodyboarding at the moment, whether it be on social media or in different places where...
Or this podcast.
Well, no, we're a positively charged podcast, remember?
Most of the time.
I was just looking at the notes and it says 2025, positively charged Christmas episode.
You can tell Shane's been dragged into the HR department a few times, hasn't he?
Podcast goals, boys. Do better.
Yeah, do better. No, I think that there's a lot of narration in bodyboarding at the moment around different organisations and things like that, but there's not a lot of people putting their hand up to do things. So that's probably frustrated me no end. And then when people are trying to achieve things, there's things that are sort of put in their way by that.
I second that, my friend.
Yeah, so that's probably one of my down what do you call it? Pitfalls for this year.
Call it a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shano.
Mr. Britton.
I'll go a bit different to you guys. Definitely Shark Island.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah,
I
was my
forgot that.
highlight.
I'm sorry. Don't take that personally, Lukey. I
Oh,
was a big fan of the Shark Island Challenge.
yeah, like that event, what it did for Australia. Seeing a major event, held in Australia again was great. I know we're trying to do a lot more, and everyone's trying to do their own little things at the moment. But just seeing, basically an international event in Australia again was fantastic.
And the winner is Cronulla.
Yes, and then my low light would be the IBC. Yeah.
Or maybe last
I
Sunday
fell
morning
out
in
of love.
Byron.
No, that was great. No, I had a good time. Yeah, that was a low light this year. I think not having Tanner on the tour, and there just not being a recognisable story to follow that tour this year. Yes, I know Pierre was sort of going for it a little bit, but I mean,
He missed a number of events.
yeah, this time he's an older guy as well. Like, it was great seeing a young guy like Tanner emerging and then succeeding. And we just need a few more guys like that,
Probably one of the positives to do with like that side of bodyboarding this year for me was seeing a couple of the Aussies go over and surf in there, and like Jai Taylor killing it, winning Maldives,
which is fantastic.
Seeing Ebony Shield, Anthony Williams, a bunch of Aussies going over and having a red hot crack.
Yeah.
So that was a big highlight for me.
Look, again, I think the future still looks pretty bright for bodyboarding from an Australian perspective.
Yep.
But yeah, if there isn't that global platform for these guys to push themselves, then
you need aspiration.
Yep.
you're my aspiration.
You'll be my bodyguard.
Oh, wow.
It got weird and Byron.
It got so weird.
What, weirder than normal?
It got weird.
Yeah, pretty weird.
Byron can get weird.
Pretty weird. Well, look, on the topic of Shark Island, obviously all reports so far confirm that it will be back in 2025, which is awesome. Obviously, you know, I assume there'll be a few things different in terms of formats, trials, possible riders. What's your take?
Walid's number one.
You know what? Like,
That is a different take.
Every big scale event should just throw him a wild card. Let's just offer him the carrot. Come on over, buddy.
Hold his feet to the fire.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Not really. That doesn't really interest me. I've got to be honest. I don't think taking up a space that
you don't want to see someone die.
Is that what we're saying?
I think that's what would happen.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see
So high.
I'd love to see a few more of the younger generation in this for next year. I think that'd be really cool.
You're seeing Jai and that, progress into the main events.
Because you see the standards at like a national level. You watch those Groms and they're getting better and better and better. Let's give them
a platform.
See them succeed.
What do you think about that? Because Shark Island does have that different scenario where it can do whatever it wants and invite whoever they want. You know, what would you think? Like, I mean, I can think of like a couple of different formats straight away that they could go towards. Like, they could say all competitors will be under 30, for example.
Imagine Kingy's position then.
Yeah, but I mean, they could also say, all right, that could be just 2025, for example.
Yeah.
But they also could satisfy someone like Kingy and say, all we're going to do this year is invite all past winners.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, you look at that past, like I actually listed them all down because I was interested to see.
Because he was that busy in the office this week, Chris.
Yeah, that's right.
Mark was holding the fort.
So you got Matt Percy, Bullet McKenzie, Christian Riccacini? Rissol. That's the easiest way to say it.
Yep.
Mike Stewart, Kingy, Tamega, BP, Ewan Donici. What did I say, Donici? It's Donicky. I'm hanging around you that much that I've actually said the wrong thing. And he's a mate of mine. What am I doing?
Do better.
Hardballs, Winnie, Mitch, Blackie, Lester, Rollins again, Jace Finlay, and Benny Sawyer from last year. That's the lineup.
That's a mental event format there.
Yeah,
absolutely
mental. And it is like it's tricky, right? Because they do. Luke and his team, they do have the freedom to do whatever they want. It's not a sanctioned event by the IBC. It's not run by Surfing Australia. Like, they've got support from them, which is great, but they can do whatever they want.
And that would satisfy their locals versus internationals versus other Australians. Like, it's a high-end thing. So that wouldn't be that hard to go, all right, we're just going to do that this year.
The one problem I think they run into with some of the international guys is 6 weeks is a long waiting period to hang around Australia for.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you wouldn't come here for the 6 weeks. I mean, they're giving their kind of traffic light notice, which is 72 hours out, right? Just guess if those guys are going to commit. Like, you send out that invite, you say, hey, maybe you are in Hawaii. But we're going to have a 6 week window. We're going to give you as much notice as we can. Like, if you can make it, you can make it. If you're not, then we'll have a reserve. But anything's possible.
Have you booked a flight to, say, US in 72 hours?
Here we go. Here he
comes, the practical international traveller that he is. Has just jumped on the couch.
Corporate bigwig.
What do you care, mate? You're tracking down your Amex anyway.
I'm just saying how much of a nightmare it is to get a flight.
Chris, do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, great format. But again, also Do you want to look at that future progression of the sport,
Yeah.
particularly domestically, and go, okay, we need to look at that next gen and find a way to do that? And obviously that's where something like the trials come in. Obviously they didn't really have trials for it this year.
Are they talking about that this year?
Oh, look, I think it's something that they're open to. But the conversation I had with Lukey about it, and it was a really good conversation, was that, you know, historically they'd have the trials for Shark Island at Cronulla Point, right?
Yeah.
Which there's some guys that surf really good at Cronulla Point, but then they're not necessarily guys that surf really good at the island because they are two completely different waves. So I think, yeah, probably in a perfect world, and hopefully Lukey can shoot me a message to tell me if I'm way off the mark here. But I think in an ideal world, if they were going to have trials, they would have the trials at the island.
Do you think the digital format worked this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's progressive and it's kind of the way events are moving forward to a degree, right? Yeah. But yeah, maybe for that trial period, you know, process, it has to be at the island. Like maybe, obviously, some people can't do that if they're international, but yeah, I think maybe the trials could work, you know, for that local contingent or next gen contingent, which would be domestically based riders or Australian riders. So they're all going to be able to kind of maybe commit to come and chase a swell at the island and get waves. I don't know. Food for thought.
You sort of look at the other invitational and like the pipe comp, and God, they've got a lot of riders on that.
That's a huge seating.
How many people is there?
Oh, I think it's like
Oh, I'll pull it up.
it's quite a substantial amount. I think it's like 60 or something.
Yeah,
Right.
it's definitely 40 plus.
Are they? So they've got 7 days to run that though, haven't they?
They got a 14-day window.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
How many days are actually allowed to compete?
I'm not sure. It'd be really one of the things that keeps coming up about that event, like, is that how many other events are on the North Shore.
Yeah.
Like trying to get a window that you can have freedom.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
76.
Oh,
76 competitors.
Yep.
that's huge.
That's a lot of. So they have to run for at least 4 days. Yeah.
Again, that's an invite list. So I don't, and that was a preliminary invite list. So maybe it's maybe there's a first in best dress. Maybe it's capped at 50.
Geez, you wouldn't want to do 76 people in a head-to-head format, would you? You couldn't.
That's no.
You'd have to go 4-man heat.
I reckon it'd be 6-man eats almost.
It's, I mean, like some pretty cool names in there. Like for obviously a lot of classics as well. You got the hubs. You got Mike. You got Kainoa and Tamega, Holy Reeves. But then you got guys like Chris Burkhardt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Proper old school.
Yeah, but obviously very, very infamous and successful photographer and storyteller now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like crazy list.
Which Australians?
Tommy Morris is in there.
Kingy? I saw Kingy's booked a ticket.
Hardballs.
Rawlings,
Yeah, Rollins. I'm pretty sure Kingy's there.
Kingy, Tommy Morris. I think there was like 4 or 5.
It's just such a big list.
Walid Zdah?
He's number 77. He's the reserve. Yeah, he's the reserve.
Did was like some of the old No Friends boys in there, like Spencer?
Yeah. Skip's in there. Yep. Yeah. Huge list. I'm not sure it's a public list, to be honest.
No, there was a list that was
Right.
This is a list you made up on your phone.
This is Benny O's
ChatGPT
input.
put it together for me, mate.
Benny's kill list.
Oh, buddy.
Is this the list that I sent you?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Someone else sent me.
I sent you the list and it was all screenshotted off their story, so it's pretty public.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. Screenshot it off someone's Insta or something.
Well, you're not going to issue 76 invites if you can't include all those people.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I guess recapping. Can't wait for the SIC in 2025. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. And, mate, even if they get the same swell as they did this year, it's going to be a huge success. Like, not perfect by any means, but shit, it was good.
They'll learn where to put the cameras properly and all that stuff. And that's, Luke's already talked about that. So, get that sort of system up and going. They've been pretty quiet, actually, haven't they?
Yeah. Riptide has been quiet for the last couple of months.
Right. What's going on there, Benny?
Don't know. Look, I do know Elliot Williams is currently over in Japan.
Yep. Bought a chalet.
Yeah, bought a chalet. So I think he's doing a reno. But yeah, honestly, I haven't spoken to him in a while, so can't really convulge too much. But I'll tell you what, for us, for next year's SIC, hopefully our schedules align and we
go up.
Yeah, that'd be epic. That'd be epic. On to the next one. IBC. Will Tanner return?
No.
Next. God. But this is a positively charged Christmas episode. What?
Yeah, I know.
Looking forward towards 2025. I'm trying to include everyone.
He's the Grinch.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not the Grinch. I'm just being realistic.
You're the bin chicken.
But, obviously, possible events. What do you guys think the IBC need to do to bring interest back to the World Tour?
Either include other regions or rename.
Let me finish.
Oh, okay. That was good. I actually liked what he was saying.
He didn't press the buzzer, though. There you go.
What noise is the buzzer make? But was I wrong?
No, you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong. I mean, I think the obvious thing is that from an Australian perspective or, Pacific perspective, it's not inclusive of some of the biggest demographics of bodyboarding in the world. So how can it be considered a world tour?
It reminds me of baseball, right? They have the World League Baseball series in the US, but only teams in the US compete.
Have you seen my baseball? Look, this isn't the first time we've spoken about this on the potty. And I really hope that the IBC, it kind of taking this kind of feedback on in a constructive way from whether it's us or anyone else that's giving them some aggressive jabs via social media.
Well, coming in a different way rather than going over that. If it was the three of us running the World Tour, what would we do to bring back interest?
For me, I would simplify the tour schedule. I think right now, based on the current economy of the sport and the world, I mean, from a travel perspective, it costs so much money for these guys to go from event to event to event, which is just unsustainable. I think we've got to strip the World Tour back to whether it's a Triple Crown.
I think 3 events.
Yeah, so keep key 3.
The only reason, and I'm going to put it out there into the land, and you guys know, sort of how all these comps and that work. The only reason that they want to have more than 3 comps is to put money into their own pockets.
Bingo.
Yep. That's the only way. That's the only reason.
So the other thing I was just thinking about then was that the IBC, the World Tour, the 2 events with probably the most interest, apart from Fronton, are run by independent bodies.
Yep.
Pipe and Shark Island.
Yep.
Which, back in the day, were 2 really, like, Pipeline's always been,
To be honest, there's your Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Pipe, Fronton, Shark Island.
Yep.
Kaboom. And yeah, look, no reason why you still can't keep the IBC as a governing body for these 3 events. But let the Hawaiians run Pipe, let the Aussies run Shark Island, and let the Canary
run another one.
Crew, they pay a sanction fee to the IBC to keep alive what they've got to do.
Why?
Well, use them as a media platform.
Who says the IBC is the world governing body, though?
The IBC do?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, that's kind of where we're at, though, at the moment, isn't it? Like,
it's a breaking point, mate. It's a breaking point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you've got to have some structure. And, Chris, I kind of feel like you'll be able to kind of cap onto this a little bit more. Like, there has to be some type of guidance, right? Or someone that's kind of overseeing the overall success of these 3 individual events, because otherwise you will have 3
there's got to be
bodies
accountability.
Clashing. There you go. There's got to be some type of structure for these 3 events to all work on a same platform.
Do you think there's room, sort of like how the WSL went to with their Challenger series, where they have regional qualifiers?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then you are dealing with a field of 32. So you could be...
Yeah, so like, for example, 4 guys from Australia are allowed to compete from that region, and 4 guys from North America, and 4 guys from South America,
Yes,
and
sir.
4 South Africans. Yeah.
I think
What was the last one you said?
South African.
South African.
Yeah, South African.
4 from Japan.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's probably going to be the way the IBC looks for 2025, though.
Have they announced the calendar yet?
There are a couple of little feeds that showed up. I just don't... Generally, I think historically they're like early Jan when they do the full release.
And they're all TBAs.
Yeah. I'll see what I can find right now. Let's have a look, shall we?
Let's have a live dig.
But while I'm looking for this, let's get stuck into the pipe comp. I mean, we've already touched on it a bit, but, oh man, I hope that thing goes off with a bang, because, again, who doesn't love seeing pipe firing on all cylinders and guys going for broke, especially on that backdoor section.
I hope they live stream it, unlike the Vans Pipe Masters that's on at the moment that's not live streamed.
Really?
Yeah. So
That was live streamed last year, though.
yeah, it's not live streaming this year.
Why?
I don't know. It's pretty frustrating because I would have liked to watch that.
Yeah, right.
Nothing on their 2025
What's the
IBC calendar, by the way.
what's the window for pipe?
Ooh, great question.
Hey, just another point. I was just looking at the list I had that I screenshotted, Benny, and there was up to 96 riders in there.
What?
Yeah.
In the pipe comp?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
There must be a cutoff point.
That's got to go sun up to sundown for like a week.
3
straight.
weeks?
97.
97.
Yeah.
20-man heats.
So much for...
Old school 20-man heats.
One day event.
You know what? Here's a great event idea.
They might do a trials at Sandy or something.
That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
They should do an event like old school pipe, the old school pipe events like the early 90s, late 80s, where you could only ride a max 7.7.
Fucking hell.
That'd be sick.
Corporate takeover.
People don't realise how wild those 80s comps were.
Oh, yeah.
Nuts. Nuts. Yeah, but what are you thinking, mate? You're pretty keen to see pipe do its thing?
I think it'd be amazing. Yeah, just excitement. Like the blend of old and new as well. Like when you hear some of those names, that just gets excitement straight away. It's pretty wild, I think, if there is 96 people. I don't know. I'd love to hear the format that they're sort of planning or how many days actually they're going to be able to get at pipe to run that event.
In true pipe style, they're just going to put 96 people in the water at once.
Yeah. Which is a quiet day for pipe standards.
How do they find 96 colours of a spectrum to create all those rash vests?
Urban Surf, what do you call it? Infrared wristbands. That's how. Yeah.
Just a name each person.
Yeah, that's right.
There is technology in the works.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one.
I was just going to say, just looking through the list, it's a pretty impressive list, isn't
Name
it?
some names.
Robin Legos. Who else we got?
Yes, so
Spencer
we got
Skipper.
some people from IBC.
Yeah.
I couldn't see your name on there, Shane.
No.
Jacob Ramiro, Tanner, Andre Botha,
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, it's going to be an exciting event.
Jamie O'Brien.
That's good.
Yeah, that's epic.
Sick.
Yep.
Sammy Moritimo.
Tahiri Tehi. That's the Tahitian guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's epic. Bo Henry. You're going to love this one. My boy from Japan, Hayato Anakido.
Ooh. For D-bar specialist.
Yeah, lots of love. Lots of love.
Matt Creeley. There's one that just says Denver.
The state?
Yeah. Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've looked long at Aka Linman. Yeah, it's an impressive list. Only downside. Surely we could have invited a few more Aussies.
Nah, that's all right.
Like,
Let them have their moment.
I was going to say,
let them get it up and go.
2024 IBC World Tour champ Amir Day Soliveres is on the list.
Is he?
Yep.
I don't see Walid on here.
Did you? Did you? I think they've spelt both his name wrong. They've written Andre Bolter. Little typo.
Hubbard's name's spelt wrong in the list I've got.
Yep, it is. Yep. They got the intern doing the email list at the moment. Jesus.
Can I just make a mention of a couple of the clips that of Jeff Hubbard that's come out recently? Is that bloke age? Like,
Mate, he's like a fine wine, isn't he? Fine wine.
There was a reverse and an invert I saw, and it was huge, like ridiculously huge. Like, surely he's going back and got a whole heap of Voltaren and magnesium tablets. I think he's 50 odd, or he's 49. I think
He has one of those bars at the end of the day.
Oh mate, it's just insane. Like,
He's a nice bar specialist.
he's ripping, absolutely ripping.
Mate, lots happened this year. Obviously, from a bodyboarding Vic perspective, obviously threw down some pretty good events, including the Collab DKS pool party with SABC State of Origin. Obviously, some big things happening again coming into 2025. Obviously, we just announced our Triple Crown State Title Series, which is pretty cool. Watto, you want to give us the rundown? Some big changes in terms of event locations there?
Yeah, so we decided to mix it up a bit for 25. So doing Phillip Island, the Peninsula, and 13th Beach.
Phillip Island is huge, mate.
Yeah.
Huge.
So always, we've done Cape
When was
Patterson.
the last time there was a bodyboarding event at Phillip Island?
It's a very good question. I can't remember one.
No, neither do I.
I could be completely wrong. I'd have to ring up the Oracle, the old man, and ask him.
He'd know.
He'd know. But I've never attended one.
Can't you just tune in with him telepathically? Like,
Yeah, no, Phillip Island's going to be exciting. Like, there's a lot of different waves there, a lot of, good waves. So I'm super excited about Phillip Island.
What locations are available to you to have an event?
We got permits for pretty much everywhere.
Really?
Yep. So
EPs?
I don't know if that's on the list. That'd be nice.
We'll add it to the list.
Yeah. So generally when we go for permits, we try and get it for, like, if we're aiming for a certain spot, we try and get it for as much of the coastline as we can.
Yeah.
So, like, for this coastline, we get all the major beaches plus Flinders.
Yeah.
Not the heads, though.
I'm not allowed at the heads. That boy's made a return. The other thing is...
Dean Alford should be on our committee putting in the permit applications for the heads, I think.
Yep.
He's got to get ACO to stamp it.
The ACO rubber stamp. We're going to do DKS pool party and bodyboarding Vic State of Origin is going to happen again next year.
Yep.
Super excited about that. The banter in the chat group for the BV versus South Oz just keeps on giving.
It's I don't even think you can. You know, when you're like a DVD or a film clip or something, they have a rating. Like it might be PG, R18 plus. Like, I don't think you can rate this chat group. It's that next level. It's
I've got to be honest, I've gone to comment a couple of times and I've withdrawn. I thought, HR's going to get involved at some point. So,
mate, Adam Williams is the HR manager and he's the catalyst.
Yeah, I tell you what, like, there's a lot of good banner and a lot of good support in that group.
Yeah.
Bunch of legends. So
I'll be brutally honest. I'm slightly terrified of the team South Oz are going to bring over next year.
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Dylan Beach, are you actually going to come this next year?
No, I think they're pretty determined to come over and, mate. Look, I mean, they basically had the full crew on site for the Robe event.
Yep. I don't think Dylan's coming. I believe he's having a second wedding that Benny's also not invited to.
Especially did not invite you.
But think about it. You got Beachy, you got Longy, you got Brad, you got Jasper, you got Marshall. That's their top five. How many in the team?
Landon, who won the comp this year as well.
Yeah. Bananas.
Can I ask about the Triple Crown?
Yes.
Because I haven't been able to speak to you both too much about it. I'm hearing there's a little bit of buzz from interstate that there's quite a few guys that would actually like to come down and compete.
It's quite interesting. A few people are keen on coming down for it. So, yeah, really stoked that people are interested in it. So
we have to find
more than welcome
a perpetual trophy for this.
Yeah, we're going to have to think of something outrageous.
Yeah.
Like what colour flipper now? I think we could change it up. We'll do something
I've
different.
Got some ideas.
Hey, can we, it's not on the list, but there's something else very controversial that's happened recently in the sport of bodyboarding in regards of competitions.
I'm so glad that he said the sport of bodyboarding. You thought he was going to start delving into my personal life again.
Oh, no. Well,
Byron was coming out. There's photos.
Yeah, there's a photo of you with a bin chicken.
It's footage of him running naked down Lawson Street.
That didn't work well for someone else in the past, did it?
We won't talk about that.
So, an announcement that came out is the location of the 2025 national titles.
Oh, yes.
Wowie.
And it's in the pool in Sydney, Urban Surf Sydney.
The winner is
Sydney.
Yeah.
How did that go down? Pretty good. Everyone accepted it. And
Well, a couple of key things to start with. The only discipline that's in the pool is bodyboards.
Oh.
Mel's is going to be in tweed, I believe, and shortboards is going to be in Wollongong.
So I'm going to interject here. The idea that they're floating here by separating all the different mediums of surfing, I think is great.
Yes.
I think it's great. It kind of, the concept is it kind of negotiates or marries up that particular platform of surfing with the right type of wave.
In saying that, though, we've had good waves in Port Mac the last couple of years.
Yep.
Yeah. But, yeah, you're right.
However, and again, look, there's pros and cons to having an event in a pool. I think we can all agree that pools are really fun, but they are very limiting. You get the consistent wave. Everyone has that, equal opportunity on the same platform to do the same thing, but it's not promoting progressive bodyboarding in the pool. Like we all know firsthand that you're very limited in what you can do. Why Surfing Oz made the decision to put us in the pool, that's probably a conversation for us to have with Surfing Oz directly. And I mean, I'm not angry.
I'm just disappointed.
My biggest issue is that it was done without consultation.
No, mate, and I agree with you 100% here. And you and I have seen firsthand probably a little bit too much of the negativity surrounding this decision.
Yep.
What I will defend Surfing Australia here with, and Glenn Elliott, hope you're listening, is that there hasn't been any input with Surfing Oz from anyone in the bodyboarding community. So they're kind of making a decision a little bit blindly.
But
you can finish this sentence. You're probably going to outlay it better.
But it would be nice to consult with the states.
Of course it would be. And look, at the end of the day, this is going to be a learning opportunity for Surfing Oz and also a learning opportunity for us. I actually think...
No, I'm talking about the state bodies.
Oh, touche. Absolutely. Yep.
I know there was... That decision was made at a Surfing Oz level.
There was no consultation with Surfing Vic, Surfing Queensland, etc.
Look,
is that based on deals that Surfing Australia has put in place? Like, for example, do they have a agreement with Urban? Do they have an agreement
possibly
with the other couple of locations for the event?
So what it always was in the past, from my understanding, was the fact that they had money from the council or in region. So, remember they had COFs for a number of years. And I think COFs cancelled.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah, it'd be a contra deal for sure.
Yeah, but probably my biggest concerns about it was what format are they going to run? Because we're going from a 2 or 3 day national title to a 1 day national title.
Yeah.
So are they going to run you get 3 judged waves and 2 of them count? 9 riders per 27 minutes, which is the standard of what's been running.
And then the riders rotate the wave schedule through each heat, yeah.
Which, to be fair, you go and surf like if you can surf those 9 waves, and it's a long, drawn out explanation about how that format works.
That is going to be super confusing for the bodyboarding fraternity.
They need to make it so it's fair, it's equitable, and
could they do it like the way we did the
Tradie Challenge?
No, the BV versus
absolutely.
SA, and put them all in for an hour, and you get 18 waves, and then you pick your top 3, and then you get your winners from that 1 hour of surfing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think way you don't get a final though. That sucks. But
you still could.
I'm just throwing out ideas.
There is potential to still hold a final.
Yeah.
After that judging process,
but
it'd be tough.
Yeah. Look, as you know, the biggest problem is trying to judge waves there, and look, the tradie challenge format, which is the same as they run for most of the events. Do I like the format? No, I'm not the biggest fan of it, because it is that, you've got 3 waves that are judged. Of course you're going to play it safe. It's like the whole snowboard run thing. Like,
do you remember how safe I played it, mate? I forgot to actually get barreled on my first wave.
You forgot to enter this year, didn't you?
Super safe.
What's your thoughts then on the way? I'm just talking straight about bodyboarding, because obviously, national titles encompasses all sports. But for the bodyboarders, how do you think each state goes about trying to choose their riders? Because the pool is very different to the ocean, and we've got some great bodyboarders in Victoria that absolutely kill it in the pool, but in the ocean aren't necessarily going to win an event. You know what I mean? But they would win an event in the pool.
It's something I sort of rack my brain around, because the other flow-on effect with this is apparently that because there's going to be the ISA Games, and bodyboarding's coming back to ISA Games.
Right, yeah.
The top riders are eligible for that. And one of the points made was you could win a national title
in the pool
without duck diving a single wave.
Yeah.
Or you could fall into a trap where you do have a qualifying round where, like, let's just say if you played it smart and you really wanted to be strategic about how you did it, we could run one state title and run it in the pool for someone to qualify in the pool. And then if one of those riders is then qualifying for like the ISA Games, they could have got all the way from states to nationals without duck diving a wave or having that strategic.
Which is then terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, look, it's something playing in our mind, and I've read numerous comments and all sorts of things like that. And look, if they get the format right, the other thing that it sort of annoys me is over the last 5 or 6 years or 7 years or whatever it's been that we've had this technology, every wave has been developed to suit surfboards.
Right.
When you think about it,
of course it has.
Every single wave's developed. There's been no development for a bodyboarding specific wave. So they haven't put the time and effort in. I spoke recently to one of my contacts in Urban about the airwave. You can now book the pull out and surf the airwave, but it's one wave every 60 seconds and you've only got one side of the pool. So at $3,800 for an hour.
Yeah.
Money well spent.
To have I suppose it's the same as Kelly's thing, but yeah, I don't know. There needs to be more information coming out. The other concern I had was that they had passed the costs of hiring the pool for that onto the riders. Now, national titles entry fee is already $200. If you raise it much more.
Surely that can't be the case.
I hope not.
Because that's basically a bodyboarding tax.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, putting the bodyboarders into the pool.
Yep. And not to mention parking.
Oh. Yeah, well, yeah.
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 However, it does create an opportunity. We could all go up because we know what day it's going to be. We could all go up.
Yep.
Podcast, say good day to everyone.
Yep.
So that's not a bad thing.
The other thing that was made mention to...
So that'll be our second trip to Sydney for 2025.
We've got a couple of trips to Sydney
planned.
Dear. Oh, no. Sin City.
The other comment that was made. Wow, what a ride.
Every town we go to is Sin City, Shane. Robe is Sin City.
Yes, sir.
We definitely leave a mark.
Some future generations.
Anyway.
Taking a different direction, Benny, please.
So, you've surfed Sydney now.
I have.
I've surfed Sydney. Benny?
Next question.
He looked at Sydney.
Yeah, I looked at Sydney.
Saw it on the plane on the way in.
That's right.
Have we discussed Sydney with you?
No.
No.
He hasn't been around, mate.
I forgot.
He's like the dad that went out for milk and never came back.
Wow.
Kids, I'm just getting cigarettes.
How do you know that's what I said today? Oh, dear.
Give us your feedback as you are the Melbourne...
Well,
Nah,
Well, you've dropped off a bit, but you used to be.
Everyone else is the Melbourne king. I've surfed Melbourne a bit, but the day I surfed...
Sydney.
So the first thing that was interesting, right? I got a membership with Melbourne. Ring them up. Can I use my Melbourne entitlement through Sydney? No, they're two different pricing structures. And I'm like, this is something you promised that, you could just fly into Sydney and you'll be able to surf it. So didn't even get a discount code for it. Paid full price.
Wow. Okay.
So
Then why call it urban surf? Why not call it something different then?
yeah.
Why have the same booking system online?
Yeah. Why have that shitty booking system?
Period.
God.
Yeah.
So the day I surfed, it was probably 35 degrees in Sydney.
Yep.
And that pool was 25 or 26.
So cooking.
Mate, it was like you were sweating coming off the wave.
You're a lobster put into the boiling water.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was brutal.
Which is a polarizing kind of concept to have to Melbourne, right? Where it's
getting blanched.
yeah, snap frozen.
Yeah. I found interesting 6-wave sets. 6-wave sets with 18 people. I'm not a fan. Not a fan at all. Because you end up in the same rotation. If you got people that are pretty consistent, you end up in the same rotation with the same waves every time.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're at the back of the pack,
Yeah. So you got to sit and watch two sets. I mean, it's no... I suppose there's different timings, all the rest. I don't know. I never worked out what the timing was between the sets compared to Melbourne, but yeah, it's like expert in Melbourne. If you get a full expert, there's 12 waves and 12 waves, 12 surfers, and you always end up in the same sort of rotational waves.
yeah, most of the time. But what about the wave?
The one thing I noticed, so I'm a little bit fond of the left in Melbourne. It is different to the right.
Sure is.
We've talked about this before. The one in Melbourne wraps around more. I was a bit taken aback when no one told us the wave was changing. My watch had gone flat, so I didn't pay attention to how long had gone through the session. And so I went for a roll takeoff and then went for a spin and it turned around and then it barreled. And I'm like, the wave's changed. There's that much time before it actually barrels. From
Melbourne?
In Sydney, from when you take off to when it actually barrels. Melbourne's shorter. So Melbourne, you don't have as much time. Sydney, you definitely have a lot more time.
Sydney is a longer wave, though. The pool is a bigger pool. Is that no?
It's a shorter pool.
Longer
wave. And the rumour I heard this week is there's more water in Sydney. Couple of million litres more.
That's significant.
Yeah. Do you know why? Stop people hitting their head on the bottom.
So it's deeper.
But if you look at all the wave garden waves from, say, Melbourne's an outlier. You look at all the rest of the ones that have come out now, they have the same, it looks to be the same length from when you take off to when it starts barreling. There was a clip of Tully Roberts, ex-Victorian. We're losing a lot of good Victorian bodyboarders at the moment.
We had a good run. We were bringing some back.
Yeah, but then again...
What have we done wrong?
They all come back in their 30s and they're competing in bodyboarding Vic. But
Waiting a while for Tully then.
yeah, well, but you look, Tully had a clip recently. He did an ARS on the takeoff in Sydney, and like you see, I've seen a stack of clips where there's like a heap of stuff happening. Even stand-ups, you watch 2 turns before the barrel quite easily. It's almost impossible in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So,
Rating?
what, better or worse than Melbourne?
Yeah.
I like Melbourne better. I really do.
That's the spirit. Hey, probably one more negative for urban surf in Sydney. No Jacques Leroux on the back of the cubicle.
Jacques Leroux's been wiped.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Who's fresh?
We went to members' night recently, and we had this probably awkward.
They had the board meeting in there.
We had this awkward conversation about making eye contact with Jacques in the urinal. And they didn't understand that there was pictures of him in there.
Now that his picture's gone, he just hangs out there instead.
He's a meet and greeter. Yeah. He hands you soap. The sink.
The POV king. He's someone that's not happy with Walid.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, something pretty big coming up in 2025. Oh, shivers. 'Cause it's a moment. 25 years of Nomad, Shano.
Oh, yes.
Wowie.
I forgot all about that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's in your calendar and not mine.
Yeah, mate. Well, I basically blocked out January the 1st to December 31st to
Party.
Yeah,
It's going to go that long.
celebrate, mate. Mate, I honestly, that last 5 years in particular flew.
Yeah,
I'm like,
very fast.
weren't they just celebrating 20 years?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty exciting. Hopefully we'll get Mark on the potty at some point.
I was going to say, how's 25 years of working with your brother?
We'll have
be?
a full chat about, that's good. I'm blinking because I feel like a prisoner.
Save me.
Why are you flying a white flag?
Just think, if you had been done for murder, you would have been out by now.
Exactly. I feel like I'm in one of those photos where you're holding up today's paper to show proof of life.
Let's be real. We're never going to get Marky on the potty.
We'll do it.
I've told him he has to, but he went, oh.
Mate, the only way we're going to get him on is if we kidnap him and then like waterboard him first, and then he'll be blindfolded. He'll just generally think he's being interrogated.
But it's good. 25 years. We've got a whole year to talk about it, but that's going to be an exciting year for us.
Yep. Do you have any kind of projects on the whiteboard in the office at the moment?
Got a couple of ideas,
Yep.
but I've been waiting on you to announce a couple of ideas as well, so I'm just waiting to see what happens there.
To see if it fits in my schedule.
No. You keep suggesting Cook Islands and you might be living there, and when you're suggesting events in certain places, and I haven't heard concrete sort of things of that. But at some point I'll be getting my team together and hopefully
doing a trip.
We'll be doing something all together. So, which will be exciting.
Well, that's good.
What, just heading to the Mwillimbar Tavern or something like that?
I'm not going to talk about it
Oh,
now.
buddy.
Don't expect major announcements to happen.
But, chat, like, some new stickers, like some 25-year anniversary stickers, maybe?
There might be a few things. There's a couple of boards coming out already that are slipping out to the market. There's a 20.
What's the
25
actual anniversary date? Is there a date?
Yeah, it's like January. I think it's January.
No way.
Yeah.
So you're going to put a little cupcake on Marky's desk? With a candle?
He'll probably be on holiday at that point.
Those little kazoos, you're like,
he's gonna send us a clip on the day it is. Marky's gonna be on holiday.
I'll be there by myself with one of those hats on. Just a sad clown. Just a sad clown. Just
happy
as that little
birthday
thing unfolds.
to me. Oh, mate.
You got to do it now.
Well done, buddy. It's a pretty solid effort.
It's exciting.
Hasn't killed you yet. I mean, it's
had a crack.
It's had a crack.
I've been down for the count a couple of times, and
Oh, look, I'll take my hat off to you. You guys have done epic.
You're like bodyboarding Jesus. Just keep coming back from the dead. Amen.
Amen. The poor bugger's got 25th anniversary boards coming, but they're stuck in a container that's not turning up.
Yeah, it won't turn up until 26 years.
You know, though, it's easy to turn a 5 to a 6 with a Sharpie.
It's easy to just say, oh no, that's 25 next year.
Says the bloke that's forged a few documents.
I tell you what, mate. You know, you got a lot of support, mate, and we'll be definitely.
I'm feeling the support from you two right now as you.
We'll be definitely along for the ride. Don't you worry about it, mate.
You're just looking forward to the party, I know.
Absolutely. Speaking of kind of pinnacle moments, tension 11.
Oh yes.
Mate, I think, yeah. I mean, obviously, Whitey's been doing some amazing job kind of putting out teasers and doing the work to get footage together.
I'll be expecting it in 2025. That's probably the first question.
I don't know. I hope so because, there's been a lot of promotion for it. Like I know he does all a lot of the behind scenes stuff on YouTube, which has been really cool to get, I guess, insights from different guys that have been involved in the journey along the way. But deep down, us purists just want to see that full movie release. We want to see a fucking premiere tour. Like, how good are that going to be?
I'll tell you what.
They're all a little bit older and wiser now. Just keep that in mind.
I was going to say, if you watch some of the early tensions again now that like 20 years on, and you sit there, you're like, wow, that wouldn't fly these days. Watching the boys go and jump on shit in Bilo.
That's why Bilo went bust, mate. But, I mean, look, it was, again, unfortunately, things are now far more controversial. You just have to tread a little bit lighter when you're doing these things. But you're right. 50% of that shit just wouldn't pass. It'd be pulled down pretty quick. But I'm sure Whitey's probably wary of some of the aftermath from some of those prems that they used to host in Perth.
I'm sure the surfing's going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the easy stuff. Like look at the platform he has there. Like just in WA in general, is mental. I know he's been working pretty closely with Louis when he's been fighting fit. Looking forward to seeing that project wrap up.
There's certain things I've been hearing, but I don't want to talk about and ruin anything. So.
That's right. Speaking of WA, probably to take a little bit of a negative turn here, but
we're a positively charged.
Yeah, this is positive.
Okay. This isn't negative. This is a bit sad.
Oh yes, I know what you're going to get. Where you're going to go?
Another shark attack.
Yeah,
little bite.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, it's still a bite, but
it wasn't too bad. Like as far as I know, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty good outcome. Yep. Pretty good outcome. No lost limbs, no loss of life. But nonetheless, still a bite in the water at the infamous Mandurah Wedge. Funnily enough, seen a clip 3 days earlier, like of an empty lineup of the wedge of a shark swimming right there in the corner. So obviously it was chasing some feed in particular and kept going back and unfortunately was there when there were a couple of young kids surfing. So
is it just too cold here for us to get sharks? Or we just don't pay attention to them?
I don't know.
There's no sharks in Victoria, mate.
No sharks.
I spoke to a shark expert.
Shark expert.
Yeah. Apart from the really big one they pulled in off of Flinders.
No, I was literally surfing to a shark expert this time last year at the end of the street here, surfing their little break here. And I said, what do you do? And he said he actually goes up, he does all the markers on the south coast, the shark markers with the baiting and all that sort of stuff. I said, no wonder you go up there because, you wouldn't have any business down here. There's no sharks. And he went, you don't want to know. I said, no, I don't. Please don't talk about it.
No. They're just well fed down here.
I hope so.
Yeah, not by us.
Yeah, not by us, yeah.
They'd have a good feed if they latched onto me.
You're a bit too... I
don't
just
go
don't
there.
think you're their type of meat, Watto.
I'd be well
They
marbled.
like the other white meat.
Oh, Jesus. What's
Benny,
next?
I'm going to bring this up with you.
Hello.
Hi, Ben.
We've been hearing bits and pieces
Who you been talking
for
to?
over 12 months.
Yep.
Hearing about something. You've got some little project going on down here. Maybe in an event. What's going on?
Oh, the Swiggers party.
Another Colac.
Oh,
Another Colac swingers party. COVID spreading event.
yeah, no, unfortunately.
Our invites were lost in the mail. The same with the Dillon Beach wedding invite.
Unfortunately, the Department of Health shut that one down.
And his parents were hosting again.
Well, they found out. That's why it got shut down. No, mate. Yeah, there's been a bit of chatter about obviously running a significant event down in Warrnambool for the last couple of years now. Yeah, for a variety of reasons, it hasn't happened just yet. But myself, Adam Williams, who's one of our greatest assets at Bodyboarding Vic, and obviously Watto, and a couple other core folk working towards running a really kind of cool one-off event down in Warrnambool in 2025. At this point in time, we're looking at our March calendar.
Ooh. 3 months.
Yep. Leaving it to the last minute. Pretty standard protocol for us.
Wow.
But mate, the work's been kind of in the background for quite some time. We kind of know what we're doing. We've got really, really good support and connections from Warrnambool Shire Council, who are backing us big time to get this done. In terms of a concept, we're trying to go a bit of a different direction. So rather than just like your standalone, seated, non-seated, progressive bodyboarding event, we've decided to take a leaf out of a few different other sports kind of books and run like a tag team challenge event.
Okay. So is that what you're calling it?
Hang on, are we still talking about Colac?
Are we talking surfing?
Yeah, we're just moving from Colac to Warrnambool. I've got a wider spectrum down there. Big audience.
I know you said you're pulling from other areas, but didn't expect it to go that direction.
Yeah, right, okay.
Oh, it's best in the southwest. No,
Do you want to reword that?
no, not at all. Not at all. No, I think I really
You said exactly what you meant.
think I nailed it.
Okay.
But well, ideally, what we're trying to do is put together kind of like a pro teams format. So basically, the invites are going to go out to all the different board companies within the Australian industry. And saying that, we're not opposed to that being inclusive to some of the international riders as well. But the purpose of the event is kind of to give that opportunity for a team to claim bragging rights to be the best kind of, team, whether it's in the country or in the world. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew there. But yeah, basically to get those teams to kind of work together competitively in a tag team format, basically to work to a bit of a different surfing criteria. So ideally, we want this to be progressive. Chris and I have spoken about this a lot, like in what we see from a future perspective, like what works now in a competitive sense to what we think needs to be, the change to move forward. Like, don't get me wrong, like bodyboarding, it is progressive, but like for me personally as a spectator, I think for the last kind of 5 years, it's become a little bit stagnant. Like 10 to 15 years ago, bodyboarding was like coming ahead in leaps and bounds. Like the aerial maneuvers that were coming into bodyboarding was mind-blowing, but I feel like it's just stood still for the last couple of years. So we actually want to try and encourage people to be a little bit more creative in what they're doing in the water. And I think a really good way to do that is by working in a team. And Watto, feel free to chime in on this. I guess we've both watched some of the tag team events that they do with surfing. You see it in skating as well. And even in BMX and whatnot. And it's really good that they're kind of more motivated because they feel like they've got better support from a team mentality rather than just being that individual kind of sport. Don't get me wrong, like the Port Mac Teams Challenge, like that's a team challenge format. But yeah, I kind of feel if we have the opportunity here to create our own set of rules to what we want to do to actually make people want to go bigger and better.
I'll tell you what I've surfed in the tag team format a number of times, and you watch events like the ABBs. I was lucky enough to surf in an ABB at one stage, but the you're right, the team camaraderie, like pushing everyone, they've got to run up the beach, tag
the static energy is insane.
Yeah, and it's like, it's exciting to watch. Like, it's everyone's got to, make decisions. Like in those ones I've surfed, like the double whammy surfer, we did it. They used to do schoolboys. When I was in high school, we had Lockie McDonald as the double whammy surfer, who they put their arms over their head for, and it's a double of their best wave. And poor Lockie on one, he just chose the wrong wave. And you got to be strategic like that. But absolutely epic format, heap of hype around it. It's good.
From an outsider's perspective, it's not part of the event. Can you see the format that you're going to have for each team? What are you expecting the makeup of a team to look like, and how many people? And
and look, we've spoken about this in quite a lot of detail, and obviously we've still got a little bit of refinement to do. I guess we have what would be our ideal kind of team makeup, but I think we also have to be realistic when we look at what those board companies have in terms of their current team. We don't want anyone to really be at a disadvantage or an advantage. Because naturally there's probably going to be some teams that have bigger selections to choose from. I think the direction we're going to, because we want to be inclusive. We want this to be, as progressive as possible. I think, and again, it's not finalised just yet, but the team is probably going to consist of 6 riders. Potentially 8. We might look at having some reserves or people that you can kind of sub in for a variety of reasons. It could be like you've got like a sub wild card or something like that. We want women to be involved in this event. So ideally, we want to see every team have at least one woman, female representative in that team. And we also want to have a DK rider in there as well. So
the junior as well?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yep. And look, when I don't work for any board companies. All I can do is research or talk to the guys that are running these teams to kind of have a look at what they've got on offer. Like, I think it's a pretty even keel.
What would a junior be? Consist of like a under 21 or something?
What's Surfing Australia's? Well, what's ISA at the moment? Is it under 21 or under 18?
No, I think it's under 20 or under 21. It's one of those.
I think, to be honest, we'd probably just try and align with what the guidelines are for ISA or surfing.
So the closeout team. What do you reckon?
Not sure I've got the talent there, boys. all the numbers.
What are you expecting in terms of, because there'd be a lot of interest around this event, filming it, or you're gonna?
Yeah. So look, we've got to work out what our operational budget is going to be for this event.
Yep.
I'd love to live stream it.
Location's difficult?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, location is super difficult. Just because of we know that the network availability for some reason at Logan's in Warrnambool isn't great.
Starlink.
Yeah, which is great. But I'm also wary based on the experience that I've had with running significant events that you also need. It's that devil's advocate thing with live ocean sports, right? If you don't get amazing conditions, you're not going to get great content, are you?
Yeah.
And if you're watching a live stream event where you've got average conditions, and I mean, I'm very hopeful that we don't get average conditions in Warrnambool, but if you're live streaming an event for 8 hours and it's not that great, it's actually a wasted investment. You'd be better off to spend the money on just putting together a really good highlight clip and then using that clip for further promotion for the sport and whatnot. But what we're aiming for, and again, it's hypothetical, but what my vision is for basically the first prize of the winning team is that basically we want to be able to offer a kind of all expenses paid team trip. So send this, whoever it is, let's say Team ABC, win this event, then they're going to get a trip to wherever that might be, and that trip will then be documented as well. So we'll be sending them away with a photographer and a filmer, and then from that we're going to generate more content, not only
a surf trip, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a trip to the Dapto Dogs or something.
Or Colac parties.
Mate, the annual Christmas race day at the Colac Turf Club just last weekend. What a hoot.
What a hoot and nanny.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Sponsored by Bundy Rum. No, but yeah, look, again, and then that content from that trip basically can be used for that trip to then promote their brand as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Where can we find out more information?
Great question. Shoot me a DM, Shane. Shoot me a DM. No, look, Adam and myself, on pretty tight deadlines at the moment to try and get as much kind of confirmed and locked in by end of Jan.
Yep.
With an event date of basically, mid to late March.
Yep.
We do have the opportunity to stretch that out a little bit further into April, but we're trying to avoid that for, a couple of reasons.
Other events.
Other events.
Easter.
I'm not exactly sure, but one of the boundaries that we work within for Logan's is that it's a whale watching nursery.
Yep.
So then the limitations for use of that area and I'm not sure if it's April or May, kind of affected as well. And also starts to get a bit chilly in April, doesn't it, down in Vico?
Welcome to Vico.
Yeah.
Standing on the edge of the cliff there at Logan's.
Could be chilly in February in Vico. We've experienced that before.
I know,
considering the water, we're mid-December and it's spring suit weather down here. It's crazy warm.
It's
I may have swam nude this morning. Just put that visual out there.
Wow.
I cannot wait to get my AI generator to create that picture.
I don't think you'd have to get an AI generator.
Don't worry, I filmed it.
And that's how we market the closeout.
Shane Britton's feet pics.
Got to pay the bills somehow, Watto.
That's
Got to
right.
pay the bills.
That's right.
By the way, how do I put an expense report for my Uber receipts? Fucking not cheap in Byron. Jesus.
Don't miss you.
No, and then some. Anyway, what else we got to talk about, boys? Well, you said something before we kicked off. You said, Watto, you want to kind of finish it up by talking about what we're thankful for.
Oh, positive.
Very festive.
A positive or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, positive.
Yep.
What's a personal highlight?
Personal highlight.
For me.
And then what are you looking forward to in 2025?
Ooh, what am I looking forward to? Just bodyboarding related or everything related?
Everything.
I'm looking forward to seeing my daughter go into primary school.
Yep.
Graduated from kinder. That was a big deal. So yeah, I mean, I know she's super nervous about going into school.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't wait to see her kind of thrive there. My son goes into kinder, but he'll be fine. From a bodyboarding perspective, there's actually way too much to look forward to. Basically, everything we're doing with Bodyboarding Vic gets me riled up. Triple Crown. Obviously, Phillip Island is going to be an absolute banger. Significant event in Warrnambool. State of Origin. I'm really hoping that some of the other states kind of get on board with this. I did kind of shoot a message out to Celeste Ganciar from GCBC earlier in the week to kind of tell him, if they're keen, we're keen. And
there has been some talk about us running something like that. And
yep.
I don't know. New South Wales and Queensland, how do you feel about Victoria running an event in Sydney for you?
Yeah, but Mum, to be honest, honoured to be kind of considered to do that kind of thing, but I'm also happy for them to just run it themselves and then from there, basically, you just get the best of the best to battle it out for the top prize. Obviously, it'd be great to see WA kind of get into that mix as well. I know logistically it's a fucking nightmare for those guys to do anything.
When's their pool open? In
Coburn.
Coburn.
Give it another 3 years for sure. But yeah, I mean,
Every time you say Coburn, I can see you just struggling not to say Cockburn every time.
it's fucking Cockburn, okay? you can't spin that. It's not French. Like, come on, Coburn.
Cockburn.
Yeah, that's about it. Like,
So what do you reckon the winner wins? Like 1 pint at 3 Blue Ducks?
I don't know if that's in our budget, mate. No, mate. Look, again, it's an opportunity to do something pretty fucking cool. Put it that way.
Yep.
But yeah, well, I unfortunately can't say that I'm looking forward to anything IBC related 2025. But yeah, pretty keen to some of these independent events. Do their best. So the Sick and Pipe.
Awesome.
That's me. Out.
Shano.
For me, obviously, the 25-year milestone for Nomad is significant for us and how we roll with that next year. You know, you don't get to 25 years without a lot of support from other people.
You're going to bring out some commemorative pint glasses? We'll just rebrand.
They'll be knocked off, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll just rebrand the ones you sold from the Portsea Hotel.
They'll be all knocked off very quickly. I should do that, actually. We should get pint glasses.
I love it.
That'd be good.
I love it.
I actually like that idea.
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't... 25 years for any business, doesn't matter what you do, is, you know, significant to get through that amount of time.
I think it's bloody incredible.
You know, most businesses finish within 3 to 4 years. So, you know, to get to 25, we realise that, you know, if it wasn't for all the support we've had over that time, we still wouldn't be around. So it's huge for us, and we're very grateful to be making this milestone. How we roll with it this year we've got ideas, but we have been waiting to see what happens with stuff that Ben hasn't, involved and what you guys have got involved. So, and we'll try and support all of those as much as we can.
I found some pint glasses on Etsy's. You can have your custom logo, and then on the back it says, "Let's get smashed."
How much are they each?
Like $12.
$12. I can knock them off for free. Just put a little sticker on them.
I can't believe that I saw a news article this year of the amnesty that there was.
Handing back beer glasses.
Yeah, there's some bloke that he got so sick of people stealing beer glasses, he's about to run out, so he did an amnesty. And they went around to pub and interviewed people, and old mate's like, "Yeah, I reckon I've got about 30 at home."
He actually had 48.
Yeah, he's modest.
The numbers
brought
down
them all back.
No, I tell you what, you guys in business for 25 years is pretty bloody impressive. There's been some large players fall down in that time frame as well. You're killing it.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it,
man. Again, you do another potty just on your 25 years, right? I know I've spoken about it in detail in one of the profile that we did, but fuck, mate, some of the challenges that you face in business. Not many people will get back up. You like that tub thumping song? I get knocked down. I get up again.
You didn't realise that's about drinking.
Yeah, business, drinking, same.
It's all relevant.
Yeah. Hand in hand, brother.
It's all relevant.
How about you, Wado?
Yeah, I feel like he's been waiting for this moment, hasn't he?
Who?
You wanted to say
You wanted this. You wanted this moment.
No, I just thought it'd be good to talk about.
That's exciting.
Why
You've
are you pulling a script out of your pocket?
I wasn't pulling a script out of
it looks like Santa's naughty list the way it's scrolled out.
Benny Oborne.
Oh dear.
No, I've got I had a small highlight today. My daughter went up a class in swimming, which was cool.
Yeah, Ava.
Yeah, sassy little thing she is. But Yeah, we're going through the same
He's
thing.
definitely Courtney's.
Yeah. Yep. No, we're going through. Noah's stepping up a year this year. He's had quite a few challenges. So for him to get to the end of the year, and he got Student of the Week last week, which was really good. So
Nozzle.
yeah, for him to
Yeah, buddy.
to get to the end of the year with a pretty reasonable sort of report, it's been absolutely epic. Yeah, what's coming in 25? I'm excited about it. A whole bunch of events, a whole bunch of different things we're gonna do. As a few of you probably know, it'll be my last year as president after 5 years. So,
But also, we didn't even talk, like, celebrating 40 years of Bodyboarding Vic.
Yep.
In 2025.
Yep.
What?
So yeah, no, it's epic to see where the sport is. Good to see Boogie Nights back on the radar. And both of you guys didn't go. We had Boogie Nights again this week.
Yep.
And the amount of people that I didn't recognise was bloody unbelievable.
Really?
Yep.
Yep, awesome.
And a few people I did recognise, Danny Bycroft, a few of the other normal crew in there. But yeah, just epic to see so many new people, so many old faces. Everyone just having a sick time. So
Another, probably another thing to mention about Boogie Nights from the other night. I unfortunately couldn't be there, but one of our really good friends, Rui, Matthias, was there, and unfortunately not feeling himself. He recently lost a really good friend in George Andre back home in Portugal pretty suddenly.
Yep.
But, yeah, it was good to see the Bodyboarding Vic family get behind Rui. I know, obviously, it's super tough for him. Not being able to go home in a time like this was tough, but yeah, it's what I love about Bodyboarding Vic. Like, yeah, we're a non-profit sports organisation and we're a bunch of misfits at the best of times, but fuck, we're a family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the photo that was put up with everyone sort of giving him a hug and
Yep.
was pretty special.
yeah, it was absolutely epic. And Adam got up and said a few words beforehand, and I thought that was really just how everyone was so good. So
Nah, we got some damn fine people at Bodyboarding Vic.
Yep.
We're not one of them.
yeah,
I was trying to think of something motivational, like we're the glue that keeps this fabric together. No, we're the glue that people sniff. Oh, Jesus.
On that note,
Merry Christmas, everybody!
don't lick batteries and don't sniff glue.
Yeah, look, on behalf of all of us here at the Closeout, really can't thank you enough for supporting us on this crazy little, I guess, journey project that we've embarked on over the last couple of years.
2 years in now.
Yeah,
Well
wild.
done, boys.
But yeah, I mean, big things in store for us with this for 2025. I know we've had what we'd call a board meeting to discuss our ideas.
Over a few sparkling Merlots.
So yeah, I mean, we're looking for a new Sparkling Merlot sponsor. Apparently, there's none of them exist.
Or new old stock.
Mate, I don't think they were naturally sparkling. I think they just fermented too
I
much.
think they might have been naturally bubbling from the inside.
I blame Rowan for that one.
Shit. But no, really, guys, big Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Stay safe, get salty, spend time with family and friends, and be merry. That's about it, I think.
Big thank you to Sir Michael Jennings,
Oh, mate, couldn't do it without him. Obviously, yeah, the rest of the crew.
Sam Watson,
Yep. Rob Porteous.
Ricky Britton.
the bloke that sits in the corner of your office that you don't talk to.
He comes in dressed like the Reaper. With his sigh.
Thank you to Shane's wife, because she actually listens to the podcast.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. And probably to, both mine and Chris's significant others, just for moral support, I guess.
I don't know if it's moral support, just letting you just go out into the night and just not asking what you did.
Don't want to know.
I've
Don't
been
want to know.
podcasting, love.
I like the way we've been dropping little like Easter eggs in each episode and seeing
Just seeing if the feedback comes back at you.
Like we'll know when our wives listen to them because they'll be like, "You were talking about me in a podcast."
Oh, dear.
She listened to one. My wife did. It definitely wasn't in her Spotify top 5.
Thanks to all our guests in 2024
Yeah. Yep.
because they've helped make us, yeah.
Yeah, and also preemptively to the ones that we got locked in the bag for 2025.
Yeah. Like and subscribe. That's what we need.
Yep.
Like and subscribe and follow us on socials
Yep.
because just so we know you're out there.
Yep.
Because there's only 3 or 4, wasn't it?
So what do you reckon? A bit of merch next year, and we'll order 3 or 4
bit
for
of
all the
merch.
listeners.
There's definitely merch coming.
They're Michael Jennings.
Yep. He's got us covered there. The Easter egg, maybe a couple of live shows.
Ooh, live shows.
Piece of candy.
Yeah. And obviously, looking to spread our wings
Does
and
anyone really want to come along and watch the 3 of us do a live show? Like, what the hell?
we're going to have very
What a shambolic fucking idea. Who brought up that one at the meeting?
Our whole marketing budget will go to paying for people to attend our live podcast.
That's it. Fuck. Please come in with a sign out the front of a fucking
free beer.
some hall somewhere. Please come in. Candy inside.
Oh, so you're just moving the sign
Work
from
for
your
the
van.
van. Yeah.
all right. That's a wrap.
2025, the Walid story.
You
coming
ask
to
about-
the closeout sometime soon.
You ask if Tension 11's going to come out. I'm wondering if Walid's actually going to share a link to any of his clips.
So high.
So hi.
All right, guys. See you in 2025.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.